narrow circuit like we did say before, so plenty of opportunity for errors to be made, and when you're racing against 13 other cars out there on track, that only spells trouble as Sky Ultra takes the last grid slot on the grid. There he goes as the cars now awaiting the 5 red lights. And away we go for the lights of blue bombing again. No. There we go. Now we go for round 3 here around Vietnam for the CFR. Creator J retaining the lead so far, taking his normal racing line, and he's at Luke GDI trying to dive it up the inside. He's made contact and he has gone down the grid. He's P5 at the moment as he's pushing Mr. Piggy out off the circuit. Mr. Piggy and Alpaca Whacker coming to blows together. As you can see, the predicted pit stop strategy there. I don't know why they don't tell us that during the formation lap when the action is at its most now, which is very annoying. Creator J, Hunter actually retaining the lead. Yes, Creator J in P2. Downey P3. He's moved up a position. Formula Chris down to P4 after not a terrible start, but a bad start for him. And now he's in P7. He's just suddenly glitched out of my screen. What's happened to him? He's down, into P7 for him. Luke GDI P4. Mr. Mouse P5 looking to make a move, trying to defend a move, sorry, from Alpaca Whacker and Formula Chris. Ooh. And Alpaca Whacker's in the wall. He's lost a bit of his front wing there, it looks like to me. As he looks to send it down the inside of Mr. Mouse. No, just retains it and he bumps Formula Chris on the way out. Formula Chris having a terrible start, a shocker of a start in fact, as he is down in P7. What has happened there? I don't know if that was a bit of desync error on my end as he
goes around the outside.
Great move pulled off by him as they fly through the S's now. The dirty air at its worst for the drivers tucking behind. Yellow flags in Sector 3. That's both racing points in P13 and P14. If they come to blows together, who knows?
And the Alpaca Whacker goes into the pits.
Yeah,
to repair his damage, of course.
Yes. 100%, so that will demote him down to almost the back of the grid, it looks like, and retract as well in the racing point, coming into the pits himself. So no safety car like we predicted, which is good to see, but plenty of incidents to report on. Looks like Formula Chris was involved in something. Alpaca Whacker, of course, you see bidding it into the wall in the back straight there on the exit, so he's had to come in for a new front wing and retract as well, coming in to replace his front wing. I believe he had an incident with his teammate goes 0. It looked like on a mini-map, but nothing to confirm there, as Hunter just extends the lead a bit, 2 seconds almost in hand over his teammate already, and it's only lap 2.
They're only very close behind Creator J, looking to challenge him into the hairpin, maybe.
There's no DRS yet until lap 3 finishes, of course, but a move could be made here if Downey is feeling brave enough, and he does not. He's right up in the rear diffuser of Creator J, though, as they come through into Sector 3.
Ooh, and Moose overshot the hairpin.
Yes, he has lost a fair bit of time to form the Chris. Yellow flags in Sector 2, that's Moose, who's at... Yes, you're right, he has overshot it. No damage, it looks like... Oh,
and he's spins again.
Those rear tyres must be like the surface of the sun at the moment, as he finally gets going out of that
escape road. And Jay goes
road.
Into the pits. I think he has damage, surely.
He must. We will stay on board with him to see if they do replace the front wing there in the Mercedes garage. Running in P2, that will be a terrible thing for him. Will they bring out the new front wing? Yes, they do.
Yes.
So, still chucks on a new set of softs. There's only lap 3 at the moment, but so he'll definitely need to come in for a new set later in the race. So a new front wing for Creator J puts him down into P11. He's not going to be happy with that, but he does have a lot of time in hand over Moose in P12. Actually, Moose is actually closing in fast. Is that him there? Yes, it is. And Moose is actually overtaking him. So even worse news for Creator J, as we get a nice wide shot of the hairpin there, the first hairpin, roundabout hairpin there. That's great. Oh, Luke, was that Downey? Yes, Downey having a massive moment on the exit there, and that has pushed Luke up into P2 as the two Red Bulls battling it out down the back straight in towards turn 11 now. Will Downey look to make a move?
I don't think so. They are together in a voice call, and I think they want to score good points today.
Yes,
and
you are.
don't risk anything
Yes,
unnecessary.
that is fair enough. So Hunter now, 3.3 seconds in the lead after Crowdy J pitted there. So he looks to just stretch his legs a bit here and just extend that gap while managing his tyres and fuel, of course. The two Red Bulls will be looking to work together as DRS will be activated at the end of this lap. Work together to catch up to the Mercedes. No, oh, getting a bit squiggly. Was that just me? Very nicely. So we'll give you a bit of a race update here. Hunter in the lead, of course. Luke GDI, P2 for him. He's up 3 positions from his starting slot. Very good for him. Downey in P3. Formula Chris P4. After that, he's actually worked his way up from P7. So he's tracking well at the moment. Can he catch up to Downey, though? That is the question. Mr. Mouse, P2 last week. P5 currently. Then Mr. Piggy and it's Jack J running P6 and P7 respectively. Sky Ultra. He's done a massive job so far. It's only lap 4, and he's put himself up from P14 to P8. Great job from him. Of course, helped by Crad J and Alpaca Waka and Retract pitting, of course. And he has Aerofan right in his tail as they come through turn 7 and 8 here. We will stay with this battle for now as Aerofan will have DRS down the back straight, and he may be looking to overtake into turn 12, but he probably will get the job done quicker than that. Is there a DRS? Yeah, there it is. As he activates the DRS. Not a long run when you do have the DRS down into the corner, but he gets the job done easily before the braking zone. So Aerofan taking P8 there at the moment. Mr. Piggy now has Mr. Mouse in his sights. The two Misters on the grid. The dirty air definitely not helping Mr. Piggy, as you can see. Just the front end not as responsive as it usually is in that Williams, but he is catching in. Only 6/10 back now. As there, he does open DRS on the pit straight there, and P2 through to P6 seems to be bunching up a bit. Is that's Alpaca Waka? Yes, it is. He's having a go at Moose, I think. Yes, catching up massively through that corner. Bit of a corner cut in my opinion. But no warning there from the stewards. He is very close up to the rediffuser. He only 4/10 back now. He will have DRS into turn 1. Sorry, bit very tentative there on the exit of turn 23. And look at how close he is to the back of Moose as they come through turns 2 and 3 here. Extremely close. DRS again from Alpaca Waka, sorry. Can he get the job done into turn 6? Does have the inside line. Pushes him out. Very nice. Oh, they've made contact. They've made contact. Moose and Alpaca Waka coming to blows there. Moose taking back the position. No damage, I think, sustained for both cars yet. Yet to be confirmed as they fly side by side down the back straight. Who will have DRS? Oh no!
Oh!
Just
He pushes him into the wall.
Just misjudging how much room he had there on the inside for Alpaca Waka, and he goes careening into the wall. And Moose there slowing down massively. I think he has a puncture. Is that? No puncture. Just lost his front wing, the left side, the end plate, and all the little winglets. And so his downforce is going to be severely compromised through Sector 3, the place where it's most needed. That's terrible news for Moose. He definitely, I don't know if that will be a decision for the stewards. I don't know if he left enough space or not. But obviously it wasn't enough space in Moose's opinion, Alpaca Waka's opinion, as he did hit the wall and careen into Moose. So Moose will definitely need to come into the pits now. Wow.
I see that Downey is driving without his right end plate.
Both Moose and Alpaca Waka coming into the pits. And yes, you are right. So, a bit of lack of downforce for Downey as well, and that has brought him into the clutches of Formula Chris. Formula Chris will have DRS here into turn 11. Can he catch up? Does he try and dive outside?
Close. He tried the inside, but Downey already closed it.
Yes, I think thought better of it there. So we'll get that up on board. That's perfect. So action galore here already. It's only lap 6 of 28. No safety car though. So our prediction of a safety car within the first 5 laps was wrong, even though we have had several incidents. Excuse my English. And just look at how close Formula Chris is. And Downey is actually coming into the pits now, hopping off those 5-lap-old softs. 6 laps old, I should say. And will he replace the front wing as well? We will have a look here.
I think he will.
Yes, he will.
I see some pit crew members already. Yes.
Yep. Replacing the front wing and putting a set of hard tyres on, looking to run to the end. 21 laps on these bad boys for Downey, who has been demoted to P7. A lot of catching up to do as the pit window, the estimated pit window for the medium tyres now opening. So the medium runners from Sky Ultra down will be looking to pit now onto the hards.
And Jay makes a double overtake on Sky Ultra and Aerovan into turn 1.
And we missed it. Apologies from me. We were too caught up on Downey there, and we missed a great double overtake from Creator J, who's tracking along nicely after having to pit early on, looking to get back P2, and he's slowly making his way up the field. But who is next? It's that J. So about halfway down the back straight is It's that J. No interval either. Why is that? That's a bit strange. I haven't got a gap between the two, and Creator J is definitely not 2 tenths back. That's weird. Bit of a timing glitch there, I think, for us. As Aero now getting very close to Sky Ultra in P9 there. Formula Chris, actually.
Formula Chris and Mr. Mouse.
Yes, both coming to the pits now. Soft runners, of course, so they'll be going on the hard tyres and looking to run
That J also goes in
to the end of the race. Yeah, all the soft runners are starting to come in now.
Both drivers go in for the medium tyre.
Oh, okay, so soft and medium.
Mr. Mouse has to replace his front wing.
Yes, that's held him in the pits, and It's that J's actually overtaken him in the pits. Oh, no, he still has to pit, sorry. Of course, Williams is at the end of the pit lane. So, yeah, so going to the mediums. I would assume they would have went to the hard tyres to run to the end to do a 1-stop, but I guess the 2-stop may be a quicker strategy. Is that? No, that can't be right. Surely not.
Yeah, the hards are very slow, and I think they don't want to take the risk of losing grip mid-corner and going into the wall.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, so they do...
It just makes them more comfortable.
Yeah, more confident in their tyres if they have the softer compound mediums. We will see if anyone can make them last to the end of the race. That is a possibility. Downey coming right up and smashing into the back of Sky Ultra there. What's going on there? I think Sky Ultra is getting off the throttle a bit through mid-corner. Through turn 6 and turn 7 and turn 8, sorry. Downey on the hards.
The only driver on the hard tyres, so maybe he will try to go to the end on those tyres.
Yeah, maybe.
A bit more comfortable tyre wear.
More comfortable on the hards than the rest of the field. So he should comfortably be able to make it to the end on those tyres there that he has on the car at the moment. Oh, bit of an oversteer moment there for him. And Creator J's already caught up
goes into the pit.
to Formula Chris as we fly through the S's. Yes, so the leader, the top 3, Mr. Piggy, Hunter, and Luke GDI coming into the pits now. Will Formula Chris be able to get in front of all 3 and inherit the lead of this race? Of course, is he on fresh mediums, Formula Chris?
Formula Chris is on fresh mediums.
Yeah, so it's going to be a close one between Formula Chris and Hunter as Hunter emerges from the pits.
Already out.
Oh, he's way ahead. Yes.
Just ahead of Luke. Luke also on the hard tire, so the Red Bulls are looking to do a 1-stop with hard.
We will see how that pays off for the Red Bull team. The alternate strategy. Everyone else on the mediums, of course.
And Luke is fighting with Formula Chris, very close.
Extremely close now. Those hard tyres probably not the best through the mid-corner there, through turn 7 and 8. And Luke will have DRS but I don't think he will even need it. He's so close coming up to Formula Chris, and he will definitely get this overtake done before the braking zone. Yeah, easy done. Retaking P2 for him, and that has only backed both cars up as they've been fighting into Creative J, who's in P4, and he will be looking to take P2 back after that early incident that demoted him down to about P11, P12. And it looks like we have a three-way battle for P2. This is great stuff emerging here around Hanoi at the moment. Luke still 5 seconds back from Hunter though, a massive gap to make up. And Hunter on fresh tyres in clean air. He'll be hard to beat, save for an incident. And I hope I haven't given him the commentator's curse with that one. He will not be happy with me if I have. Yeah, so a three-way battle here starting to heat up between Luke GDI, Formula Chris and Creator J for P2. 18 laps left to run here for this Vietnam GP. Formula Chris with DRS, I should say. Not enough to catch up into turn 6, but he will be very close to make an overtake into turn 11 here down the back straight. Can he get a good exit? Fair exit for him there. They stream down towards turn 11. He's not very close, but he is catching in that slipstream. Does open the DRS, closing the gap even more so now. Will he look to make a move? He does. Dips to the outside, trying to brake as late as he dares, but just pushed out. A great defensive manoeuvre from Luke GDI there, pushing Formula Chris out to the outside line there, covering the inside off. Great stuff from him, and Creator J just losing a bit of pace of his own, falling over a second back from the other two. He did have DRS down the back straight, but now falling outside of that range at the moment. So he'll need to catch back up if he looks to retake P2, which he claimed in qualifying. And Hunter in the Mercedes setting the fastest lap, 1:38.3 for him.
Absolutely dominating so far.
Yes, he's extended that gap to 6.3 seconds now. He's putting about 3/10 in hand every lap as it stands at the moment, and nothing is in his way to stop him, save for a safety car. Fingers crossed. So Formula Chris will have another shot here into turn 6. That DRS doing wonders for the Renault. Still opting to remain in the slipstream as we get that wide shot again. That's a great camera angle. Thanks to the TV directors. You can just see the amount, how patient the drivers need to be on the throttle through that corner. Don't want to get on it too early, spin the car out. Formula Chris will have DRS here as they cross the line. Only 1/10 in it now. Ops to the inside now. Braking late, pushing Luke to the outside. Can he get the job done? Definitely does. Will the exit prove to be worse? No. So Formula Chris taking P2 after a great move on Luke GDI, learning his lesson from the previous lap and taking the inside line as opposed to the outside line through turn 11 and 12 there. Great stuff from him as these two look to race each other till the end now. Luke GDI having the advantage in terms of tyre wear. If Formula Chris needs to pit again, if those mediums degrade too much, Luke will be laughing, as will Downey, who was on the same strategy. Both Red Bull drivers, of course, on the hard tyres at the moment. And Luke is getting a bit wrong.
Downey's also closing in on Mr. Piggy on his already 5-lap old tyres.
And that is a bit peculiar considering Mr. Piggy is on fresher mediums, so higher grip tyres and newer, and yet he's losing time to Downey. So unless Mr. Piggy can pick up the pace here, it looks to be a sitting duck to Downey at the moment. As Retract now coming into the pits again, ran 8 laps on those mediums after coming in very early on in the race. We will see what he decides to stick on the car, but we'll quickly check in with Luke GDI. Opening the DRS, he will look to have a crack at Formula Chris and take back P2. These two guys battling it out lap after lap into turn 11. Nothing doing for him though. Will elect to remain in the slipstream and have another go into turn 6, hopefully. And retract, putting on a set of softs. Now, okay, that's a bit of an odd decision in my eyes.
Maybe he wants to go for the fastest lap or something like that.
If he's going for the fastest lap, he won't be getting.
Go to the end in those styles.
Yeah, no way, and he won't be getting points for fastest lap if he's in P14. You need to be in top 10 to get that point. So that is a very strange strategy decision from Racing Point there, putting the soft tyres on him when there's still over half of this race left to go, and he's already pitted twice now. So yeah, that is very peculiar from Racing Point there. Unsure about that one. Luke GDI now still remaining in that DRS buffer zone. Can he re-overtake Formula Chris for P2? And yellow flags in Sector 3. I think that is the McLaren of Aerofan going fairly slowly.
He has damage on the right front wing.
I think just having a bit of a
he
moment.
Lost his hand plate there.
Yes, he has. So the downforce, of course, compromised. I think he might have had a bit of a moment. Yes, he does peel into the pitch to toss on a new front wing. And he cops a 5-second penalty for his troubles as well, speeding into the pit lane there. Unfortunate for him. And retract there, getting the job done on Moose through Sector 3. We just missed out, but Moose actually retiring.
We'll have a safety car.
So, safety car's been deployed, and that's going to render Hunter's 11
screw up the Red Bull strategy.
Yeah, 11-second lead is down to 0, and Luke GDI looked to be making a move on Formula Chris right before the yellow flags are brought out, so he's had to back off. And yeah, Moose just retiring the car. I will have to see. We will pass Moose's Ferrari now. On board with, yeah, look, he's just binned it straight to the wall, I think, but I think it was an incident with retract as well. So, and retract as well, putting on. What's going on? What has happened? As you see, a lot of the top.
I have no idea.
A lot of the top runners now coming into the pits, of course, wanting to utilise that free pit stop. Hunter putting on a new set of mediums. Formula Chris probably looking to do the same, I'm assuming. Only 4-lap-old tyres for all of these guys, but wanting to utilise that free pit stop, as they will probably, they will only lose a couple of positions in terms of track position, but not losing any time,
and Downey is getting held up.
Oh no, that's terrible for him. Will he get out? Yeah, oh no, they've ghosted into each other. And so Mr. P actually losing a bit of time there, having to slow down in the pit lane.
Mr. Mouse stayed out on his medium tyres, which are already 5 laps old.
So that has thrown a massive spanner into the works in terms of strategic call for the entire grid almost. That has made... Yeah, so Luke GDI and Downey, who were looking to go to the end on those hard tyres, have decided against it and have put on a new set of mediums, as well as Hunter, Formula Chris and Crater J all putting on new mediums. Mr. Mouse putting on... not pitting at all, and that's promoted him into P2. I don't know if he will be out. He will definitely need to pit before the end of the race. He's already on 5-lap-old mediums and there's still half of the race left to go.
It is possible to make it to the end on those tyres because you can conserve them now. So those laps behind the safety cars only count as like 1 lap.
Oh yeah, true.
Like around 18 laps on the medium tyres.
Yeah,
so it is possible.
He will have to stretch them and definitely manage the tyres, but yeah, Nathan does say it can be done.
It will be awful for him.
Yeah, and Mr. Piggy, it's that J. Sky Ultra, Ghost Zero and Aerofan chucking on new hards to go to the end comfortably, and Retract and Alpaca Black are putting on softs. For whatever reason, why are the back markers putting on soft tyres? I do not know. And getting word from Moose in the chat, just a clarification on why he retired the car. It wasn't an incident with Retract. He clipped the entry of the S's and he hit 4 walls and could not recover the car, unfortunately. So a bit of driver error there, putting the Ferrari into the wall and retiring the car, unfortunately, which has caused this safety car Hunter is not going to be a happy boy with the safety car. He had almost 12 seconds over P2, and that has been squashed to nothing.
Well, Mr. Mouse can help him out because he's on all tires, and else Formula Chris and the Red Bulls and Jay would have had a chance to fight for P1, but maybe Mr. Mouse's tires are just already dead by the when the safety car is restarting. So it could help him out with Mr. Mouse between the other drivers.
Yeah, so he will act as a sort of involuntary rear gunner for Hunter in a way. Yeah, the pace on those mediums, yet to be seen what they're going to be like, but common sense would tell you that he's definitely going to be slower than the 5 cars behind him. And Creator J looks to be a winner out of this as well. After that incident, he will definitely have the pace to try and move back up into P2. But at the moment, it looks like a wide open race over who could take the victory. As long as Mr. Mouse doesn't compromise anyone behind him too much and Hunter doesn't get away quickly, we could see, I would say, almost a 4-way battle for the victory here around Vietnam between Hunter, Luke, GDI, Creator J and Formula Chris, of course. But as we wait for the backmarkers to catch up to their safety car queue, so only one safety car halfway through this race, which is actually better than I thought we were going to end up. I thought we would have had 2 or 3 by now, but the drivers have kept it considerably clean.
Only 1 retirement so far.
Yes, that as well. We had far more retirements in Australia and Bahrain, and this is definitely the most narrow circuit of the lot, so that's a bit strange. As the safety car is in this lap, as you can see, Hunter slowing up the rest of the field. He will go when he wants to go and try and catch the rest of the drivers off their game.
Ooh, and he was lagging a bit.
So he's lagged.
Into Mr. Mouse.
Yes. And
down
down
he gets a 5-second time penalty.
Getting a 5-second time penalty, unfortunately. I have a feeling that's going to be disputed with the stewards post-race. Those sort of safety car incidents usually are just due to lag and such. And you can get a 5-second penalty for just briefly tapping the car in front of you, unfortunately. So as Mr. Hunter takes off now, we only have 12 laps left here around Vietnam. Is that Luke looking to make a move on Formula Chris? Formula Chris. Oh, we've had a massive incident in the back of the field. What's that? Oh my God, I just saw about 3 cars pile up. That's Aerofan, Ghost Zero, and Retract all involved in that. So Ghost Zero retiring the car, slamming into the pit wall. Retract, a lot of front wing damage on his vehicle. Aerofan looks to be getting out of that unscathed, but he might have been the cause of that entire incident, as well as Alpaca Whacker. What has happened there? Massive moment. We'll have to check back in with them. As we come back to the front of the grid now, Formula Chris still holding on to P3, but Luke trying to dive it down the inside. Barely does. Ghost Zero leaves the session in frustration after that restart. I think that was a terrible restart for the back of the grid, unfortunately. Mr. Mouse retaining P2. But
and Luke is looking to overtake Chris.
Yellow
battling all race long.
Yes, they're still battling.
Go around the outside. He does it.
So Luke into P3. Wonderful move over Formula Chris there. Around the outside of turn 11, just squeezing him into the apex of the corner and slowing him right down.
Hunter's already driving into the distance.
Yeah, Hunter, in other news, almost 2.5 seconds up the road from Mr. Mouse, like we predicted, unfortunately. So I just think he's on his A game here tonight around Vietnam. No, he cannot put a foot wrong, even with safety cars being thrown into his path. He just chucked it out of the way. Yellow flags in Sector 3. That's Aerofan retiring the car. What has happened there? Is it an incident or he's just had enough? I don't know. It looks like he's pulled off to the side of the road on the map. But
crashed by himself.
Yeah. So that's another retiree. So 11 runners left in this race. Only one non-paying points position as it stands. Who will be unlucky enough to claim that spot? As we have the top 2 through to the 6th place. So this is a 5-way battle almost for P2 at the moment. Creator J just showing himself in the mirrors of Formula Chris. And they're all backed up behind Mr. Mouse on those old tyres. It will be only a matter of time before we see overtakes on that AlphaTauri there. And Mr. Mouse has binned it. Mr. Mouse spinning out on the exit of turn 9.
And Luke has damage, I think. I think he just clipped the rear end of him.
On my screen, they were a considerable way away from each other. It looked like a driver error to me, just a bit too early on the traction. But
yeah, no, it was Mr. Mouse's front wing, my bad.
Yeah, so Creator J, P4. So that's, will we see a retirement there? I don't know, but that means Mr. Mouse, who was running in P2, now down in P10 with only almost 10 laps left in this race. He will be very unhappy with himself there. That is terrible news. But that has opened up, pretty much released Luke GDI and Formula Chris to try and catch back up to Hunter. But the gap is almost 5 seconds now. It was only 2.5 seconds last lap. He is unbelievable here around Vietnam. He's definitely put the work in as soon as the game released. And he sets the fastest lap at 37.4 for him. I believe he's untouchable here today. I don't think anyone else will be competing for the victory, save for another safety car and a few more spanners into the works. Mr. Piggy copping a 3-second time penalty for track limit interpretations. And Mr. Mouse, yep, Mr. Mouse has pitted and retired that AlphaTauri after that incident, not thinking it's worth it. He would have been on course for at least a point, and if another safety car came out, it probably even more. So that is unfortunate to see Mr. Mouse there retire after that incident out of turn 9. Yeah, really sad to see, especially for someone so high up in the championship fight. So that does leave Luke GDI, Formula Chris, Creator J and Downey, those 4 competing in a battle for P2, while Hunter streams up ahead in P1, 5 seconds up the road. As Alpaca Whacker now on the tail of It's That J. Will he look to make a move down the inside? It looks like he is. And he's already got the overtake done for the braking zone. I'm hyping up something that is very anticlimactic there. Yeah, already got the job done on the soft tyres.
And Downey going together, and Jay almost spun.
Sorry, I was looking at the wrong J. It's That J instead of Creator J. And yes, Downey getting the overtake done on Creator J there. And Creator J now back heaps of time to that battle.
As you said, it's a very narrow circuit, and they just came together there, trying to leave each other space, but just too narrow.
It is unfortunate. Luke GDI and Formula Chris sort of backed off Luke a bit. He's still in DRS range, as well as Downey behind him, but they're not really battling as much as they were before the safety car. Downey actually very close, looking to move himself up into the podium positions as we approach 9 laps left in this Grand Prix. Hunter already at turn 9 compared to P2. Just streaming ahead even further, almost 6 second gap between him and Luke. And this will be something to watch here. We will jump on board with Downey now. Get a good vantage point here if Formula Chris closing the gap a bit on Luke, but not enough to make anything worthwhile into turn 11. He will have to bide his time once more, just showing himself in the mirrors though to let Luke know he is there, and he will make a move if a mistake is made. Yeah, so these guys holding position as it stands. Oh, a bit of a lock up there for Downey. And Alpaca Whacker currently in a Williams sandwich. Mr. Piggy in front of him, Mr. J behind him. And he's on those soft tyres. It sort of works for him in a way. He has had the pace to move up from where he was second last up to P7, but he will definitely need a pit to get off those softs shortly, which will demote him back down the grid. As you see the debris there on the left side of the pit straight, that is off Ghost Zero's car, I believe. I don't know why they haven't cleared that off, but things holding firm at the moment. Formula Chris.
When Jay had a bit of oversteer and went off track.
Yes, and he's copped a 3-second time penalty. And he's 1.4 seconds now down on Downey. He'll be frustrated with that. As Formula Chris cutting the corner a bit there on my screen. I don't know if that track limit has been allowed by the stewards, because I've seen a lot of the drivers been cutting there and haven't been receiving warnings. So I think this may be the time for Formula Chris to make a move on Luke GDI. He is very close, but Downey's even closer as well. Will he look to dive it down the outside? He might. He's very late on the brakes. He's up ahead, but Luke will cover him off on the inside. Downey getting in on the action now.
And Downey.
Downey.
Very close. Wheel banging a bit.
Taking advantage. Oh, they're slamming into each other. Side by side into Sector 3 now. Here we go. This is going to get dangerous. I think, yeah. So Formula Chris just heeding the position to Downey. Not wanting to compromise his line here through the S's. And slam himself into the wall like we've seen a few of the other drivers have during qualifying and the race.
Downey, no. He picks up a time penalty.
Downey with a 3-second time penalty of his own. So that move has been made for naught almost. And that will put him provisional 6th spot, even though he's just made that overtake. The penalty situation, I'm not 100% sure of. I believe Creator J has a 3-second penalty. Downey has a 3-second penalty. Luke and Hunter are clean. Formula Chris is clean. Sky Ultra has a 5-second penalty. And I think that's all at the moment. They've remained relatively clean. I think that's only because of the track limits in terms of the walls. They haven't been able to really cut corners here because there's a massive concrete barrier to stop them from doing it. And Creator J and Formula Chris have come together. Just Creator J trying to stick it down the inside of turn 6, where he put his nose where it didn't belong. Formula Chris.
Both Red Bull side to side.
Formula Chris didn't see it.
So much action going on.
We don't have enough eyes to look at all the action that's happening on track at the moment. But Creator J, I think, copping damage from Formula Chris there. A bit too eager on the overtake opportunity. Formula Chris closing the door shut in Creator J's face, and that has backfired massively for Creator J, who remains in P5.
Luckily, Jay has no front wing damage.
Yeah, so he's extremely lucky to get out of that with no damage, in my opinion. It looked like he got cleaned up from Formula Chris, on my point of view. He will look to hopefully catch up and have another shot at it, but yeah, I don't know if he might need to be a bit more tentative after that attempt. That attempt did look a bit too eager to me. And Formula Chris now, yellow flags out in Sector 3. That is Alpaca Whacker, I think.
Alpaca Whacker overtook Mr. Piggy, but it was a bit unfair, so we let him back fast.
Yeah, I think a bit of a moment between them.
Very sportsmanship from Alpaca Whacker.
That is true. Formula Chris now. Downey's actually put himself into P2. Sorry, was that... Did we miss that as well, or team orders, or what's going on there?
That happened while Creator J and Chris came.
Oh, okay, so they on the back straight, they overtake last lap. My apologies, we missed that, but there is a lot of action, and there is only one point of view for the stream, unfortunately, so we can't watch it all, as Mr. Piggy and Alpaca Whacker sort of battling. Alpaca Whacker should be catching up on those soft tyres. Mr. Piggy on the hard, so the pace advantage is in favour of Alpaca Whacker. Just can't seem to get the job done at the moment, as Formula Chris will have the run on Luke GDI now. Down the back straight, Downey extending his lead over his teammate, and Hunter 6.5 seconds in the lead. Formula Chris, yeah, opting to remain behind the rear diffuser of Luke GDI at the moment, biding his time. He is very close though, so expect a move next lap after the S's, of course. As Alpaca Whacker still stuck in that Williams sandwich. Can he put himself out of it? He's yet to be seen. He does look like he's making inroads on Mr. Piggy, but just can't get close enough to get an actual move done. So he's stuck in that Williams purgatory at the moment. And he definitely wants to push himself up into P6. And Sky Ultra doing a very good job for himself, staying out of trouble mostly. And he's in P9 after starting last on the grid. As Formula Chris right up on Luke GDI's tail. Still 3/10 between the pair as they flow through Sector 1. Formula Chris will have DRS, of course. You can see that rear flap wide open. No real opportunity to make a move into turn 6. But there definitely should be one into turn 11, so we will stay on board with him. Just look at how close he's getting to that Red Bull. Luke getting a great exit, though, out of turn 8 and 9. So, Formula Chris tucking into the slipstream, of course. We'll have DRS as we come up to the activation point. There it is. And as you can see, Luke's harvesting a bit of ARS as well. That flash duck to the outside, and he will have the job done, I think, even before the braking zone. Yes. So Formula Chris puts himself into P3, the final step of the podium, with 5 laps remaining in this Vietnam Grand Prix. I've been talking non-stop for the past 3 or 4 laps. It's just been hectic. Absolutely hectic. Oh, let me take a breath. There we go. So, Hunter still in the lead, 6.5 seconds comfortably in the lead, as he has been all race pretty much. And save for a last minute safety car, which could definitely throw a spanner in the works. He will look to take victory here around Vietnam. Downey, a surprise P2 in my opinion. He was lagging behind there in P5, P6 for the majority of the midsection of the race, and he will be very happy with a second place finish if he can hold on to it. Formula Chris will look to make inroads on him, however, and defend from his teammate Luke as well. I don't know if we might see some sort of team orders here in terms of Downey slowing down to back Formula Chris into him, as it looks.
I don't think so. Downey has to manage a 3-second gap.
Oh, of course, he does need. Yeah, he does have a 3-second time penalty, so he will need to extend that gap 2-3 seconds. He does have 2 seconds in hand at the moment, so only needs to eke out another second to claim P2 rightfully. But as it stands, it will be Formula Chris taking P2, inheriting that. Luke GTI in P4. He will look to have a last-ditch effort at Formula Chris if he can help it, but Formula Chris's pace has been very good after that overtake. He's already eked out 1.5 seconds over Luke, and Creator J in P5. Very disappointing for him. He started P2 and has had a few incidents which have halted his momentum up the field, and it doesn't look like he will be making any inroads on Luke, save for, of course, that elusive safety car in these final laps. As Hunter now coming across the line, 3 laps left, 4 laps I should say, sorry, excuse me, here in Hanoi. The tyre situation, a bit strange. I would say Alpaca Whack is going to struggle for grip mightily. As you can see, Mr. Piggy already eking out a larger gap, 3.5 seconds now over Alpaca Whack. You just see how slow he is through those final corners. I wouldn't be surprised to see It's That J take P7 from Alpaca Whack in the dying moments. That'll be a battle to watch out for, given the tyre degradation here around Vietnam. Sky Ultra running his own race down there in P9, as well as retracked in P10. He'll be happy to just claim a point after the disaster of a race he's had. A fair few incidents he's been involved in. As It's That J inching closer and closer, almost in DRS range, and once that happens, I believe it will be all but over for Alpaca Whacker. So we will see if It's That J can close that gap even further. As you can just see the sort of patience you need on the throttle through that hairpin. Would you call that a hair? I would call it a hairpin. Turn 6's
like half a roundabout.
Yeah, half a roundabout. Yeah. Sort of reminds me of the snail section in China. So Alpaca Whacker, he's just managing to stay out of DRS range. You can see that he is harvesting a fair bit of energy, so that will slow him up even more. And if It's That J can just claim a few more tenths and have a go in the DRS zone for the next lap, it'll be great. As you can see, the gap between Downey, Formula Chris and Luke, they all have about 2 seconds between each other now. I think Formula Chris has all but claimed P3, and he may have a chance at P2 if Downey doesn't eke out an extra second. And it's that J now, only 5 tenths back from Alpaca Waka now. Sector 3 not doing Alpaca Waka any sort of favours with those dead soft tyres. 11 laps on them now compared to 11 laps on It's That J's hard tyres. And just look, he's really closing up now. Alpaca Waka having all type of problems through these long left and right handers. Should put a lot of grip on the outside of the tyre. The DRS zone here. It's that J closing up even further into turn 6. Even further now. Alpaca Waka not going to get the greatest of exits through turn 7 and 8. And this is all. Turn 11 is going to be the nail in the coffin here for Alpaca, I believe. Especially with DRS. He's making massive inroads even without DRS here. And that is P7 for It's That J. Getting the overtake done before the braking zone even. And Vinny, 32F1, good to see you, mate, but goodbye. You are out of here. As Downey actually has extended that gap to 3.4 seconds now. He's extended the gap by 1.5 seconds in just that past lap alone. I think formerly Chris may have had a bit of a moment there which compromised his run that final lap. And so that will be probably the gap to watch as we head into the penultimate lap here. Hunter only 4.5 seconds up, so he's lost 2.5 seconds to Downey. I think Downey's just had a stellar lap there, extending the gap on Formula and closing the gap to Hunter. The win is probably out of the realm of possibility, but anything can happen here in the CFR. You never know what could happen. Hunter,
I think Hunter will drive very conservative now.
I believe that will be the case. That's probably why that gap has closed up as well.
Sky Ultra goes into the pits. He'll probably fit the soft tire to try a fastest lap attempt.
Yes, you are correct. Great prediction there.
And Alpaca Waka has a puncture.
He does. That front right tyre, as you can just see. Rear right tyre has been punctured, of course. Trying to run 12 laps on the softs was not going to do him any favours. That tyre wear has eventually won out that battle. And now
it was at the beginning of the lap, so
he will have to limp around the entire circuit to replace those softs, and that could very well put him last place if Retract and Sky Ultra can catch him. There is about 50 seconds between him and Retract in last place, but having a puncture can slow you up massively, of course, as you all know. And he's actually been into the wall as well. He's done. He's lost the entirety of his front wing. Oh my god. Just going down the back straight. So I believe he will try and get back to the pits, of course, but that is not going to help him at all. So he's got no front downforce, no rear traction. That's pretty much a boat out there as it stands right now. Hunter has begun the final lap of the race, 4.5 seconds in hand over Downey. He will look to take the win here, but a bit of drama here for the back markers.
And in the meantime, Creator J is closing in on Luke.
Yes, he has. You are correct. He's only got 3 tenths him behind Luke. Downey only 2.5 seconds over Formula Chris, and still yellow flags out in Sector 3 for Alpaca Waka. He will peel into the pit soon, and that will definitely mean an overtake for Sky Ultra and Retract. So last place for Alpaca Waka, it seems. We'll see if Creator J can make a move on Luke. He's 7 tenths back as they head through the DRS space. Yes, it does seem as though, and it's the last lap, and there's really no overtaking positions. He has gone very late in the break, so this is pretty much his last attempt. And Luke GDI getting very a lot of wheel spin, on the exit there. It is looking very close here, but doesn't seem as though there's going to be any opportunity for Creator J to snag P5 as Hunter now rounds the final couple of corners here. He does take the victory here in Vietnam.
He takes the triple. With the pole position and the fastest lap as well.
Amazing. Downey
will drop back on penalties.
Of course, not serving a drive-through either. So Luke could claim P3. No, he doesn't. So Formula Chris snagging P2 from Downey due to those penalties. Downey P3 rounding out the podium positions. Luke barely losing out on the podium by 0.08 of a second Just if he was a little bit quicker there, he could have snagged that podium. Creator J, P5 for him. Very disappointing run for him, considering he did start P2. Mr. Piggy and it's that J, 6 and 7s for them. Sky Ultra coming around now into the final sector, as we will.
Can Sky Ultra snatch away the fastest lap from Hunter?
Yes, he is on those softs. He has gone for a last-ditch effort. He will definitely claim an extra point if he can snatch it. I don't have the sector timings up, unfortunately, so we will find out as he crosses the line. It's been a bit of oversteer there. That will cost him a few tenths. But goes through to the end.
No.
He cannot claim it. So P8 for Sky Ultra. No extra point for fastest lap, even though we did have a good, solid effort at it. Respect coming around here in P9. He'll be surprised to actually claim P9 here. We're pretty much running in last place almost the entirety of the race after that early incident. So a great haul of points for him too, instead of one. He crosses the start-finish straight, and Alpaca Waka, after that disastrous penultimate lap for him, crosses the line to round out this Vietnam Grand Prix. So Hunter, your winner here. Sky Ultra claiming Drive of the Day honours just due to his grid started in P14 and managed to claim P8. So decent effort for him as Hunter takes the podium. Very well managed race for him, almost unbeatable after turn 1 of lap 1. Not much you can criticise him for this race. Had the safety car thrown in, and even that didn't stop him. He eked out a 2-second gap almost immediately, it seemed. Formula Chris will definitely be happy with P2 there after claiming P1 last week in Bahrain, so that will bolster his championship standings. Downey in P3, but barely, only by 0.08 of a second over his teammate Luke. Good haul of points for Red Bull. Creator J, P5, did a bit of a disappointing outing for him after starting P2. He was looking to get back on the podium after missing last week. Mr. Piggy and It's That J, great bit of points for Williams there. They haven't been doing too flash these past two races, so that's good to see from them. Sky Ultra, your drive of the day, of course. P8, just missing out on fastest lap honours as well. Retract in P9, and Alpaca Waka in the Haas, rounding out the points paying positions. The rest, we had Mr. Mouse with the DNF. Aerofan goes 0, and Moose as well, our non-finishers. So
Hunter will take the championship lead now with 1 point because of the fastest lap.
Oh, that is very intriguing.
Formula Chris in P2 with 1 point behind. I think Red Bull will be very happy with this result after only scoring 2 points in the first 2 rounds.
Yes, for sure. So things tightening up at the top here in CFR. Only round 3, of course. Many more rounds to go, but yeah, it looks so far to be a 2-horse race between Hunter and Formula Chris. But don't forget Mr. Mouse, Creator J, Luke, they're all in contention as well. Do we have anyone for an interview post-race? We can get some post-race comments here. If
we have Jay.
Jay, we will see if we can get.
We have to go into the interview channel.
Yes, we do. There we go. I will notify anyone else if they want to get an interview. So we will be speaking with Creator J, and it looks like Formula Chris as well. We will see if we can grab Hunter, the race winner, first, if he does want to speak with us. Yes, he does. So we will grab not Mr. Hunter, sorry, Hunter first, just as he was the race winner. We will just get a rundown of the race from him. Give us a one moment here.
Shit.
Hunter, mate, how are you?
Sorry.
You're all good?
Oh yeah, so happy.
Yeah, great. Well managed race from you. You looked untouchable there from the start of turn one in lap one. What was the strategy heading into today's race?
Yeah, I get the pole position, so yeah, I was very happy about that. And because before the race, I did a test race, and I have so many overreaching on the front. So I was on the two-stop strategy. I don't know if I will do a soft, medium, medium, or soft, medium, soft. But with a safety car, I put the medium for the end. And yeah, the pace was very nice.
Yeah, you did eke out that. It was almost two. I think it was 2 second gap in only a matter of a handful of laps after the safety car restart. That safety car definitely did throw a spanner in the works in terms of race strategy for you. But you took it on the chin and you took off from the rest of the pack.
Yeah.
A bit
I knew that Mr. Marks has got a bit old tires, so it was a bit easier to create a gap. So yeah, it was very
yeah,
nice.
for sure. Your teammate Creator J, a bit of a disappointing race for him. Started P2, ended up finishing P5 after a few small incidents. That has sort of put a dent in the armor for Mercedes in terms of constructors. Are you hoping he can bounce back from that disappointing performance after today?
Yeah, I saw him on the start. I think he touched me on the back, but I don't know. Maybe he braked too late. But I'm so sorry for him. I know he lost a bit of his wing, so it was yeah, he pitted on lap 2 or 3, I think, and it was very complicated for him. But yeah, I know he had a very good pace. He was insane in Australia. He was not here in Bahrain, but I know he would do something. So no, we're ready for the rest of the championship.
Sounds good. Well, congratulations. You are the current championship leader after that race victory. A very well managed race from you today, and look forward to seeing more from you in the future.
Yeah, I hope to continue like that and keep going to the title.
Thank you very much, mate. Have a good one.
Thank you. Goodbye.
So that was your race victor, Hunter, there in the Mercedes. We will grab his teammate, Creator J, now for a quick few words from him after his disappointing outing there on the Hanoi Street Circuit. Creator J,
Yeah.
how are you, mate?
Hello.
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 A bit of a
Hello.
lackluster race from you after starting P2 and P5. Can you tell us sort of what happened out there?
Um, well, I didn't race for 1 week. Don't do that. You really lose everything, every pace, every little bit, every little thing.
Yeah, that
It's
is.
really annoying.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, you did miss out on Bahrain, of course, and that was a host of points lost in terms of what you could have
Yep.
grabbed in Bahrain, and coming back after that break, obviously, yeah, your skills not up to where you expect them to be after the race victory in Australia. Should we expect a bounce back from you next week?
I don't think next week. China is really hard track for me. Maybe in the next race after. I don't know which one.
Zandvoort.
Oh yeah, in the Netherlands.
Okay.
Well, the Netherlands, I'm not really that great, but fast enough, I think. So yeah, well, yeah.
And one final question. Towards the end of the race, you had, I think it was that incident with Formula Chris, I believe it was, in turn 6, just before the roundabout there. You sort of tried to dive it down the inside. Was there a gap there that just closed up right before, or what were you seeing there?
No, actually, my brake pedal kind of failed.
Oh, okay. That would definitely
Yes.
explain it. Yeah. So you were lucky to come away from that with no serious damage
No
there.
damage.
Did look like
Yeah.
a bit of a shunt. Formula Chris just shutting the door on you there. But yeah, if there's a brake pedal failure, that would definitely explain why the dive occurred for sure.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for joining.
Also,
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
in the beginning, I was really unfortunate to hit my teammate in the back because I was really thinking of going down the inside, but then I thought he's quicker than me, I know that. But then I decided to go behind him, but I forgot that I needed to brake a lot earlier than normal, so I kind of braked into him and then I sort of lost my front wing. That really
Yeah, you did
really
have to.
sucked.
Yeah, you did have to pit to replace that early on, which did put a
Yeah.
spanner